Listen up, because I'm about to drop a bombshell. Letting your baby cry in certain moments isn't just okay. It's one of the most powerful ways to build their inner strength for life's toughest battles. I know that sounds wild, maybe even heartless, but stick with me. I've seen firsthand how that gut-wrenching urge to swoop in and fix every whimper can sometimes rob our little ones of the chance to grow resilient. And trust me, I felt that pull too, that ache to make it all better in a split second. But what if stepping back, just for a moment, could be the greatest gift you give them? Now, before you think I'm suggesting you turn a deaf ear to your child's cries, let's flip the script. What if I told you that not every cry is a distress signal screaming for rescue? Some cries are just tiny protests, little grunts of, "This is hard," or "I don't like this." And in those moments, you've got a golden window to teach them they can handle the tough stuff. I remember a car ride years ago, my little one strapped in the back, wailing like the world was ending the second we pulled out of the driveway. A friend riding with me couldn't take it, unbuckled her seatbelt, climbed over to the back seat, and started shushing and patting like her life depended on it. I was stunned, half worried for her safety, half puzzled. Why the rush? My heart was pounding too, but I knew something she didn't. That cry wasn't danger. It was discomfort, and sitting with that discomfort for a few minutes could plant a seed of grit my kid would carry forever. So, how do you know when to hold back and when to rush in? And more importantly, how do you do it without feeling like the worst parent on the planet? Let's dig deeper into this delicate dance of love and learning, because there's a way to respond that builds their emotional muscle without breaking your heart. Let's get real about what resilience means for our kids, because it's not just a buzzword. It's the armor they'll wear through every stumble and fall life throws at them. Resilience is that quiet strength to face frustration, to keep trying when things get tricky, whether it's figuring out how to roll over as a baby or facing rejection as a teen. And here's the kicker. It starts way earlier than you might think, right in those first months when they're grunting to reach a toy or fussing because you're not holding them 24/7. As parents, we're wired to soothe, to fix, to make the crying stop. But every time we jump in too soon during those non-urgent moments, we might be stealing their chance to learn they've got what it takes to push through. Think about it. When they finally grab that rattle after stretching with all their might, or when they quiet down in the car seat after a few minutes of protest, they're not just surviving. They're wiring their brain to believe, I can do hard things. Research backs this up. Studies from child development experts, like those at the Harvard Center on the Developing Child, show that early experiences of manageable stress with a supportive adult nearby help kids build stress regulation skills that last a lifetime. Now, let's break down when to step back. Not every cry is a resilience-building opportunity, and knowing the difference is everything. If your baby is hungry, exhausted, or in pain, that's not the time to test their grit. Scoop them up, comfort them, meet that need fast. But there are two perfect moments to let them flex their tiny emotional muscles. First, those small challenges just within their reach. Picture your little one on a playmat, stretching for a bright yellow duck just an inch too far. They're grunting, maybe letting out short whines, but it's not that panicked, piercing cry of distress. It's more like they're saying, "Oh, this is annoying." That's your cue. Or think of them during tummy time, working hard to lift their head, little arms shaking with effort, fussing but not falling apart. Again, that's a moment. The second type is real-life delays when they're safe but need to wait. Maybe you're in the shower, suds in your hair, and they start fussing in their bouncer. Or you're chopping veggies for dinner, and they're in their high chair, wanting your attention right now. Or like my car ride story, you're driving to grab groceries, and they're hating every second of that car seat. They're not in danger. They just don't like waiting. These are the windows where resilience starts to grow, where they learn the world doesn't always bend to their every want, and that's okay. I've been there, juggling a screaming kid and a pot of boiling pasta, feeling like my heart's being ripped in two. But I've also seen the other side, when they calm down after a minute, when they realize they can wait, and that quiet pride in their eyes is worth every second of doubt. So, how do we guide them through these moments without losing our minds? It's all about a simple, powerful 3-step approach I've honed over years of trial and error, and I'm breaking it down for you with every detail I've got. But wait, before we dive into the how, let's tackle a nagging doubt that's probably creeping in. Can something as simple as talking to a baby who doesn't even understand words really change how they handle life's challenges? I get it. It feels downright silly at first, chatting away to a 3-month-old who just stares back with those big, clueless eyes. I felt that awkwardness myself, standing over a crib, narrating their struggles like I'm on some parenting podcast they can't even hear. But here's the thing, words aren't the point. It's your tone, your calm, your steady presence, that sinks in. Imagine you're lost in a foreign city, no clue what anyone's saying, and someone rushes up, arms flailing, voice loud and frantic. Your stress spikes, right? Now picture someone else approaching slow, speaking soft, face relaxed. Even without understanding, you feel safer. That's what you're doing for your baby. Your voice becomes their anchor in a tricky moment, signaling, hey, this is tough, but I'm not worried, so you don't have to be either. I've seen it play out time and again, moms and dads using a gentle, even tone while their little one fusses over a toy, and suddenly, that fussing eases, not because the problem's solved, but because the vibe says, we've got this. It's not magic, it's science. Child psychologists point out that babies as young as a few weeks old can pick up on emotional cues through vocal pitch and body language, shaping how they process stress. So yeah, talking matters, even if they don't get the words. And when you pair that with the right actions, or lack of action, you're setting up a foundation stronger than you can imagine. Let's zoom in on exactly what that looks like. Because this is where the rubber meets the road, and I've got stories and steps that'll make it crystal clear. Here's the heart of it, the game changer I wish I'd known from day one. A 3-step approach to building resilience that turns those small, frustrating moments into stepping stones for your child's future. Step 1 is acknowledge. This isn't about fixing anything. It's about seeing them, really seeing them, and letting them know it with a calm, steady voice. No wild gestures, no panicked face. If they're reaching for a toy just out of grasp, you might say, I see you trying so hard to get that rattle. If they're fussing while you're finishing up in the shower, try, I know you want me to pick you up right now. I've done this in the middle of a grocery run. My kiddo whining in the cart because I'm not holding them. And just saying, I hear you, buddy, you want out, in a quiet tone, shifted the energy. They didn't stop whining right away, but the edge came off, like they felt understood. Step 2 is encourage. Cheer them on without swooping in to solve it. For that toy struggle, say, you're so close, can you stretch a little more? Or, if you're stuck finishing a task, I'm almost done here. Then I'll be right with you. I've whispered this kind of thing during car rides from hell, telling my little screamer, we're just a short drive away. You're doing awesome. And even if they didn't get the words, the encouragement kept me grounded too. Step 3, the hardest but most crucial, is wait and watch. Give them space to wrestle with it. Stay close, stay attentive, but don't jump in. This is where the magic happens, where they learn to push through frustration. I've watched my own child grunt and strain during tummy time, wanting to flip them over so bad it hurt. But instead, I stayed low, smiled, sang a little tune, and waited. Sometimes they'd lift their head, sometimes they'd just keep trying. But either way, they were building grit. And here's the proof it works. I've seen kids who've been guided this way start to self-soothe faster, cry less over small setbacks, and tackle new challenges with a stubborn little spark by the time they're toddlers. If they do hit a breaking point, of course you step in, scoop them up, cuddle, say, "You worked so hard. Let's take a break." This isn't about pushing them too far. It's about stretching them just enough. Let me paint a full picture with that car ride I mentioned. Instead of climbing to the back, I acknowledged, "I hear you, sweetie. The car seat's not your fave." Then encouraged, "It's a quick trip. You're doing great. I'm right here." Then waited, singing a silly song about the trees outside, keeping one eye on the road, one ear on their cries. They didn't stop right away, but by the time we parked, the wails had dulled to whimpers. And when I got them out, there was this tiny, triumphant look, like they'd survived something big. That's resilience budding right there. Or take tummy time, another battleground. A baby fussing, arms wobbling, face scrunched. Acknowledge, tummy time's tough. Huh, I see you working. Encourage. Look at how strong you are. Can you lift again? Wait and watch, get down to their level, hum a tune, let them try. If they manage even a second more, celebrate. Wow, you're a champ. If they collapse into real tears, comfort. That was amazing effort. Time for a rest. I've guided countless parents through this, and the shift is unreal. Babies who once hated tummy time start tolerating it, even enjoying it, because they've learned struggle isn't the end of the world. This 3-step dance isn't easy at first. It feels unnatural, even cruel, to not fix everything instantly. I've second-guessed myself mid-step, wondering if I'm messing up. But every time I've stuck with it, I've seen the payoff. Kids who don't crumble at the first sign of hard, who start to trust their own strength. And isn't that what we all want? To raise little fighters who know they can handle life, even when we're not right there to catch them. Now let's lighten the load with a little surprise that's tripped up so many of us parents, myself included, and might just make you chuckle, or at least breathe easier. Ever notice how tummy time can turn into a full-on meltdown for some babies? Like it's the worst torture you've ever inflicted? I've been there, watching a tiny face scrunch up in misery on the floor, thinking, am I doing this wrong? Turns out, most of us are, without even knowing. Here's the twist. Starting tummy time flat on the floor is often way too hard for newborns or younger babies. Their little necks and arms just aren't ready for that kind of workout, and what we think is a simple exercise becomes a frustrating dead end. I'd seen parents nearly give up, convinced their kid just hates it, when really, we're setting the bar too high too soon. The good news? There are actually 5 different ways to ease into tummy time, from super gentle positions to more challenging ones. And they can turn those tears into giggles, or at least tolerable grunts. Picture this. Instead of the floor, you start with them lying on your chest while you're reclined on the couch, their little head nestled near your heart, feeling your warmth, hearing your voice. It's tummy time, but it's bonding too, and they're working those muscles without even realizing it. Or try rolling up a small towel under their chest for support on the floor, lifting them just enough to make head lifting doable. Maybe tossing a colorful toy in front to catch their eye. I've watched a baby go from screaming to cooing in this setup, suddenly curious instead of mad, because the challenge felt winnable. Then there's over-the-lap tummy time. Lay them across your thighs, one hand gently supporting their chest, the other patting their back, turning it into a game of peekaboo. Boo, as they lift their head to see your face. I've done this on lazy mornings, laughing, as my little one started chatting back with babbles, totally forgetting they were supposed to be frustrated. You can even use a nursing pillow, propping them at an angle so gravity's not their enemy, singing a silly song to keep them engaged. And for the bold ones, ready for more? A slightly inclined surface, like a folded blanket, works before hitting the flat floor full time. I've shared these tricks with frazzled parents who swore their kid would never do tummy time. And within a week, they're sending me videos of their baby pushing up, grinning like they've conquered Everest. The key is meeting them where they are, ramping up slowly, and sneaking in fun, maybe crinkling a shiny wrapper or making goofy faces while they strain. It's not just about the exercise. It's about showing them that hard things can have a playful side, that effort doesn't always mean misery. And honestly, isn't it a relief to know there's a fix for something that feels so defeating? These little hacks remind us parenting doesn't have to be a battle. We can outsmart the struggle, one tiny tweak at a time, and still build that resilience we're aiming for. So here's the bottom line. Raising resilient kids starts with the smallest moments, those fleeting seconds of frustration where you choose to guide instead of rescue, using that 3 steps. Step approach, acknowledge, encourage, wait, and watch. It's not about ignoring their cries. It's about trusting they've got a spark of strength inside and fanning it with your calm, steady support. You're not just helping them through a toy struggle or a car seat tantrum. You're wiring them to face life's bigger storms with courage. Start today. Next time your little one fusses over something small, take a deep breath, try these steps, and watch them grow right before your eyes. If you found this helpful and want to hear more stories and tips like these, hit that like button and subscribe. It's the best way to keep me sharing, and it means the world. And hey, I've got to warn you, content like this can disappear fast sometimes, so don't wait. Join the crew now. One last thing, what's been your toughest parenting moment when you've had to hold back instead of jump in? Drop it in the comments. I'm all ears and can't wait to swap stories.